Beats by Dallas, make it hurt.
Topic of discussion for today. Let's see the properties. Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Commercial Real Estate Investing, the Black Community Edition, Education Wednesdays. I am your humble host, Dominic Green, Managing Partner of Atenico Commercial Real Estate Services here in the Dallas area. And so today, as always, we're going to educate, provide insight, talk about things that we're seeing going on and relating to commercial real estate, because this platform is designed for us to have those conversations amongst ourselves, to bring attention to things that oftentimes isn't brought attention to our, for our community, and then to inform our community about opportunities to invest, because we're investing for income producing commercial real estate properties, and then those as well that may be interested in development. But nonetheless, we're talking all things commercial. And kind of today I wanted to put on the radar, which is funny because I've actually helped clients look for these type of properties. They're kind of called ISF or OSF. And that basically is basically industrial properties that have outside storage capabilities. So for instance, I was trying to help an individual that wanted to locate a facility to park Amazon vehicles. Another one to park their trailers for a couple of their trucks that they were running. And, not putting two and two together, not really thinking forward. But it came on my radar because now apparently institutional investors are kind of gleaned onto it. As an opportunity, as they're chasing yield, and then also because this type of market, the industrial service facilities, the outdoor storage facilities, is a little bit more fragmented. It's more locally owned, regional owned, individual owners, high net worth individuals, and not necessarily a large institutional base, although apparently funds are being raised and currently raised to actually acquire them. So like I said, these are typically infill, mostly infill facilities that have maybe a building that's maybe 8,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet most, but it's mostly the value and the opportunities in the storage. And so the type of tenants that are in these facilities can be non-credited and credited, like your ABC Supply, your Air Gas, your Beacon Roofing, because of the values really in the storage capabilities or outside storage capabilities, which is all part of the supply chain, right? Because what COVID brought out is that a lot of people, with the disruption to the supply chain, realized that they needed to have a lot more inventory onshore, more locally as opposed to overseas, right? And then with all this also going on, you see they talk about on the news here, I want to say maybe CNBC, like where they're showing all the not tanker trucks, but the large tankers that have all the container ships, that have all the stuff that's supposed to be coming from overseas, from China, that's working its way here and all that. So it's a critical, these properties are mission critical in a sense, which is key from an investment standpoint. And I take that from my guys that do net lease for WPC Carry. That's all they do is mission critical facilities, industrial, retail that are net lease. And basically what mission critical means it's a important part of either the chain of operating a business, or important part just of the business in general of operations, right? Like they have to have it. They're going to spend money for it. So these particular properties, are limited in supply. They're not necessarily just being built per se, and a lot of that has to do with obviously zoning restrictions, and then getting the low density requirements, the FAR, which basically just the floor area ratio that dictates the size of a building, because these are typically between 0 and 0.25 or a fourth, and that just basically means the building covers either there's really no building there, maybe just outside storage, to maybe the building only covers about 25%, and it's typically single story, right? In most cases. And these properties, like I said, it's highly fragmented. It's on the radar for institutionals because these typically trade around, if you have a great tenant, that's a credit tenant, their business, like I said, it's part of being mission critical, the location, the access to freeways, maybe rail service lines, and then obviously the size, and then the term lease, which typically ranges anywhere between 5 to 7, maybe up to 10, depending on the tenant, the type of tenant and their business. They're trading or maybe around about the low 6s, maybe pushing maybe 5s in some areas, in some locations of the country, but probably on average about 6, all the way up to, adjusted for risks, maybe 7, 7.5. But like I said, the values in the land not necessarily per se the building, because that is the key component for a lot of these companies. So like I said, we're talking your XPO logistics, for trailer drop-offs, container companies, your auctioneer people that do the auctioneer for machinery, which is real big in Houston. I can't think of the name of the company, but they're right there off of Beltway in North Houston, I'm sorry. Not too far from Humble. They got a huge, massive acreage for auction of construction equipment. Your roofers, roofing materials is big. Your piping, your precast piping, your other types of piping that goes into construction, that goes into ditches. The guys from Hertz, renting the equipment. So anything that deals with materials and bulk storage that's going to be used later on in some type of process for the end consumer. And so, like I said, hold on. And so, like I said, it's not something that's highly advertised, but people are picking up on it. Like I said, it just so happens when I was seeing that come across my desk, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've actually been trying to help people do it, and I never really put two to two together, other than the guy bringing up he does, really doing leasing out, leasing out land for trailers, for people to park their trailers, their 18-wheelers there, because they can't park it at their house, or they definitely can't park it at their apartment, so they'll just drive there, park it, and lock it up, and all he has is basically a gate, security guard, some lights, and that's about it, right? And then some of them have a little bit more fancier stuff, where they have a place where people can take showers and maybe get something to eat, and it's all vendors and vendor machines and stuff like that. But nonetheless, this is something that, to bring on the radar as something else that we can invest into as an opportunity. That, like I said, probably, I know definitely not on a national scale is being talked about, because right now everything is still industrial, everything is still multifamily. Those areas are still on fire. They're still talking about retail's, dead and going away. They're kind of talking about with office. And like I said, everything is local. Real estate is about serving the community. Yes, and you can find, bad situations, and I think in all classes, no matter what's going on. But you gotta really just fine tune and really dig deep to figure out where the opportunity is, right? I talked about it in retail. I talked about office. People going to the office. Maybe some of the larger corporations have hesitate, but they're trying to get people back, because you notice they've been mandating people to get the shot, so they can come back to the office, right? So, and come and work next year, because they realize, it's one thing to be on Zoom, it's another thing to be in person, right? Because we're just social creatures, right? Now, will that hybridness go away? No. I think that's going to be something that's going to last forever because, it does provide convenience. But still, at the end of the day, people are going to want to meet face to face. So, in regards to these properties, you got, relatively lower operating costs. I mean, it's really just money for the pavement, for the parking lot. If there is a building, the building's not that big, so roof, structure, security and stuff like that. Not large, big ticket items that you typically find for, industrial or any other type of operations, multifamily. These people are going to be on triple net leases, in some cases absolute net leases, where the tenant is responsible for everything and basically just collect a check, right? Vacancy is going to be low because, like I said, they're going to be in high demand. There's very limited supply. It's hard to develop them. So the ability to re-tenant them, given the cost of just maintenance and stuff like that, of operating them is low. So, vacancy is not that high in comparison. I think on average, I was reading this somewhere between 2 to 4% maybe on average, which is extremely low. Like I said, it's a mission critical thing, especially, but again, it's all about location, right? And that's with any type of asset. So if you have an infield location that's an industrial service facility or what has a facility, industrial property has outside storage, and it's infield near the highway, easy access, easy ingress, egress, visibility, and all that good stuff that goes into it. In some cases, I mean, that's going to be a very valuable property. And then if we're looking to acquire it, said the price range is, because it's so fragmented, would be anywhere from $1 million to maybe 10 million or so, from what I saw. So it's, still within reach. It's still reasonable. I mean, it's not something most people can do individually, but that's just commercial real estate in general. But we're talking about raising money, 30% down, maybe 40% down. I mean, at the minimum, you're talking about 400, 300,000, and all the way up to maybe, 3 million, 4 million. It's a little bit different when instead of you're talking about, I need to raise like 30, 40 million, but, it's attainable. And you got to remember, like I said before, typically nobody has all the money. Commercial real estate investing is a team sport. So you have a lot of different people that are involved in it, people that are providing the equity, people that are obviously the bank's providing the debt or private company providing the debt. And that's broken down even further from people's roles, jobs, and so forth. So it's a team sport. And it's just about putting all those pieces together and then ultimately acquiring the property. So yeah, like I said, these properties are on triple net lease basis, and that just basically means the tenant is responsible for the majority part of all the operating expenses of the property. The value's typically in the land per se, because it's not necessarily a big building. It's not taking a lot of space, but there is a building, and the outside storage is really the value there too. And then in some cases, if it is infield, and depending on what's going around it, there could be opportunity to redevelop it into another higher and greater use, whatever that may be. Maybe that's office, maybe that's multifamily, who knows? It just depends on where it's located oftentimes. But I think that's something that definitely should be on the radar for people, as another alternative to invest, because that's what we talk about here, all the opportunities that are on the table, the news that talks about commercial real estate investing. So as always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. So anything particular you guys want to learn, discuss about, let's do it. Like I said, this platform is to be collaborative. I always tell you I don't know everything. I'll do my best to find it. I'll share the things that I've experienced, given that, I help businesses and people lease commercial space, invest in it, actually help someone try to invest in an office building, and doing that due diligence and underwriting. So yeah, I just provide what I can, be a resource, because I know helping others helps you, right? And the only way we get somewhere is together. So like I said, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If there's anything particular you guys want to talk about, definitely do that. Let's do that. Leave that comment in there. Let's continue the conversation. Yeah, man. I think it's a great opportunity. I know. I know it's difficult out there, especially with me. I'm also working on this, working on to syndicate affordable housing and preserving affordable housing. So that's requiring me to find the right partners. That's requiring me to find the right partners and then put all the pieces together on top of all the stuff that's going on. But like I said, I believe commercial real estate, that is one of the vehicles that's going to help prepare us not only take care of our families, our friends, support the missions and things that are, but also provide that generational wealth that we all look for. So with that, if you want to reach out to me, my information is in the on the site, on the video. Definitely reach out. If I can be of any help, let me know. So until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. Education Wednesdays. Let's keep talking commercial real estate, investing Black people. Happy investing, guys. Deuces.
These my dollars make it hurt.